Hey everyone, Fish Not Found here. Welcome to part 4 of my Beginner to Beast series. Today, we get really lucky with a few drops and get into some PvP action. Let's get into it.
Chickens.
Let's grind out some fame farming on the roads to start working towards unlocking the Impaler Spear ability. This ability summons a giant spear that pierces through the ground and slows the enemy's hit, while also doing a good chunk of damage. This ability is particularly good for open world PvP, which I'm going to get into soon.
Nice.
I'm fast as fuck, boy. No, 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 no. Wait. Wait.
Was a misclick. Okay, I want you to avoid making my mistake here. I went to click on this player to inspect them, but instead I attacked them. To avoid this, select double click to attack in the control settings. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but I'm sure it saved me plenty of times after I've made the change. I'm feeling a bit spicy, so I think I'm going to take this fight. Okay, I think that's enough fighting for me. I think the fight would have been much closer if I had a Thetfoot cape instead of a regular cape. A Thetfoot cape releases a chain lightning when you auto attack. Over the space of the fight, it will drastically increase your DPS. At the time, I was just being stingy and I didn't want to pay extra for my cape, but it almost cost me.
Hello there.
That is a juicy boy. I'm wanting to get a bit of practice with the spear, so I'm going to run a few corrupted dungeons. If you activate these demonic shrines, the game will start looking for an opponent for you. Otherwise, there is only a random chance you will be invaded by another player. So if it is your main goal to practice PvP, always activate these shrines on your way in. I'm running 4.1 armor, the tier 5.1 spear to unlock the reflect ability. Wearing higher tier armor will have diminishing returns. In the Hunter Corrupted dungeon, because there is a soft cap of 900 IP, and the IP above that will only grant 10% extra. Completing corrupted dungeons in a yellow zone is a safe death. You will not lose your items, and it is my favourite way to practice PvP. Please note, in the red zone, completing corrupted dungeons is dangerous, so be careful out there. My goal here is to soak as much damage with my reflect abilities while stacking my Q to output as much damage with my dash. More Q stacks equals more damage on my dash. I also like to create gap between me and my opponent to make use of the spear's long range. Here, I'm pre-stacking my Q to get an advantage going into the fight. I like to use my auto attack followed by a spare Q to do a quick burst of damage. Against dual swords, I always try and soak as much of the initial E damage ability with my reflex. Notice I'm moving away when my Q is on cooldown to avoid taking unnecessary damage. I'm not sure why he used his assassin jacket here, but it seems like a bit of a misplay, and he was not under immediate threat by me. Oh, I've got the wrong run on. I'm holding onto my dash until he gets gap on me, then using it to close the distance. This was a massive misplay from me here. I shouldn't have used my assassin jacket when he used his poison arrow, but instead waited for his mercenary jacket. As you see, he managed to damage through my reflect and heal up above me and turn the tide on the fight. I should have used my sprint as it was off cooldown to close the gap and stick to my opponent while still stacking up my Q, and then using my dash when I have max stacks when he runs away. I could have possibly turned the fight here again by walking towards him while reflecting instead of walking away, making it harder for myself to close the gap. I noticed here he used his mercenary jacket, so I dashed through him to output both damage and create a gap to nullify its effects, again using my range advantage to be a pain. Let me know if these voiceovers are interesting or helpful, otherwise I can stick with live reactions and leave them out in the next video. Thanks for all the support everyone, I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, boy.
No.
Yep, that's me.